your phone. Hello everyone who may be watching now later on YouTube. Hillyan here along with
Reaver.
And welcome back once more to the Legacy of Kain, Reaver 2. And yeah, it's up there again, shining light on my face. I haven't gotten to, or I've been too lazy to buy a reading light or something that I could set up here, light up my face more, because the lamp is over there, so that's not going to shine in my face at any point, unless I flip this whole desk around. But yeah, then it would be getting, then it would start getting really cramped over here. Because my room is like 4 meters across at most. Actually, more like 3.5-ish perhaps. I don't have a measuring tape lying around. Actually, I do have a measuring tape. I literally have a measuring tape lying around.
Oh God. I also realize what this means. My room is twice as big as yours.
Okay. I could do a bit of a show if I do this. I'm touching the wall already, and it only goes 1, 2, then it's the wall. And yeah, this thing is pretty much against the wall, so like 1/4 of a meter back from the camera, and then it's the wall.
I think I will go insane in this small room.
Sorry, again, I do these streams after dinner, which this time was, I don't even know how to name the first one. It's brown bean soup, that would be the literal translation, and a second serving after with Chinese tomato soup, which was very nice. This first one was rather bland, not bad, but the second one was a lot better. Anyways, enough blathering about my feeding habits.
Oh.
Okay, I forgot that I needed to control it like this.
Oh, I just had a flashback of my early days learning English.
And that was?
Swamp. Here's the thing. Swamp is pronounced svamp in Swedish, and that means mushroom.
Okay.
So yeah, every time I saw swamp, I was always wondering, where's the mushrooms?
Yeah, better like that, I think.
If you
Let's
want
see.
Swamp in Swedish, you say träsk.
Okay. I think I see something over. Yes, there it is. That's our ticket up.
Oh!
And this is a pretty strong one from the looks of it.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're excited for a brazier. Then I noticed the floor.
Okay. And it's a lot chillier this time here.
And checkpoint. More impaled bodies. And
okay, a full-on Seraphan camp here this time.
a small one.
Yes, do you have an interest? Oh, now you have a friend.
Here's a thing I have a
And there's a third.
Why are they surrounding their own camps with the bodies?
This does.
Doesn't seem like a good thing to keep your soldiers healthy. Sounds like a good way to spread disease.
Yeah, it's more like morale propaganda. Infusing a sense of righteousness and bloodlust in the enemy, into your soldiers, to make them quote-unquote better fighters, or more likely more reckless fighters.
Yeah, but still, since we drawback of definitely disease spreading.
Yeah, but medieval medicine was questionable even at its best points.
Yeah, there were some good ones that in Middle East, but they mostly knew what they did.
Come on. Okay, screw that.
Yeah, when the zombie can climb and they're a ranged unit, just kill them. Spare yourself a headache.
Stop, motherfuckers.
Oh,
Okay, where's the other one? Oh. I'd completely forgotten that there's this way as well. You little shit. Run off.
Wait. Oh yeah, we've been here before.
Yeah. That one. So, oh, hello, this is new. Of course, this is before this place was burned to the ground or whatever.
Yep, and it hasn't changed much over so many years.
The core hasn't improved any, though.
It looks a bit cleaner. That's it.
Okay. Let's see, that's a wind fountain, an air font next to the church, or whatever this place is. It is. I didn't. Okay, it's a church. The safe. The safe icon shows the building / area that it is taken in. There might actually be some things hidden around here.
I would not be surprised.
This just looks like a dead end.
But I now just remember Blood Impaler.
Yeah, these guys are making even him blush, I think.
No. However, he was smarter about it. He put it along his borders and special field. He never put them like next to his bed or anything.
That would have been an odd decoration.
Yeah. However, along the is the domain's borders and all that.
Okay, that was. Sorry for the camera there. Got a bit shaky cam there.
Yeah. Wait, can I take their pole on?
Yeah, I'm just going to open this up first.
Yeah, but I feel like you might want to use the pole arms against them for. They seem to have the reach against you.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. That's just clicking into place. Here we go.
Hopefully this will help. Yeah. At least it's like an improvement. Sort of.
Yeah, I should not neglect dodging, which I have been for a bit. Come on, try something.
Yeah. I only got them better to do dodges things to give us 2. However, even that game, I feel like you only can dodge 2 times when you obviously need to dodge more.
Yeah, the rest of it is mostly repositioning. Okay, ow.
Ow!
Okay, give me that, so we have at least some health to go into this. Let's see, there's a priestess. Oh, there's one right behind me. Okay, can I use that little distraction to get up here?
Seems to work.
Okay. Another priestess. Nope.
Yeah, if you say priestess, just kill her on sight, or she will only bother you climbing. And I think that's
Get
why
back here, you.
the priestesses near the stairs, so you don't just rush past them.
Oh. I don't. I don't think I hit her there.
Wait, the enemy have friendly fire?
Apparently. Oh, hello.
Ooh,
Goodbye.
they were ready to poke you down.
Here we go.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audrin's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well. For I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
Okay, basically him saying finally, even though Janus might already be dead, though the fact that it's still standing would suggest that he probably is still alive. But then of course there's the problem of how he's going to get in there, because it was designed with something that can fly in mind. And well, these wings aren't going to carry him up there.
Yeah, oh, reminds me. I checked up the full video of the conqueror, the Legacy of Kain, Dead Son.
Okay.
It was not made by Crystal Dynamic. They were made by, let's see, Climax, Black Cloth, and Square Enix London department. And as I said, it was cancelled.
Okay, yeah, if it gets thrown around between developers a lot, things have a habit of getting cancelled.
Yeah, and apparently, I think Raphael is back, but you don't play as Raphael.
It's Raziel, not Raphael. Raphael is the turtle.
Sorry.
Now that would have made an interesting crossover.
Oh dear.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Vampires.
Oh gosh, no. Right. You play as a new character that is a Khan.
A what?
A Khan, you know, a leader. A Khan leader.
Okay, like
Apparently-
Genghis Khan.
Yeah, apparently you're in a setting of Nostos version of Turco-Mongol civilization. And apparently Raphael possesses a Khan. And this Khan, he actually grows actual feathered wings. So he
Okay.
can actually fly and grow bone blades from his arms. And let's say this, from what I saw, this is not a game for kids.
Yeah. That's been somewhat annoying and also somewhat funny whenever I've been uploading these things to YouTube. Like, is this a game? Is this a video meant for kids? No. Also,
No.
hello there, Big Aussie.
Here's the thing, there were toplessness there. Basically, there's some vampire hunters that have always one side of their breast shown, both men and the women.
Okay.
But I got a little surprised. I was even more surprised that it was not blocked by YouTube.
I don't think nudity will get full-on thrown off of YouTube, but I think it gets an age restriction put on it, where you have to
Yeah.
verify your age.
Yeah.
You can
and
all
that's what-
speculate enough on your own of how I know that.
Actually, that's what surprised me. I know that. This one did not need a age restriction. That's what confused me.
Okay.
But yeah, it was very bloody and grim. And I obviously showed that every god had even got himself some new minions. Like he had got a bit more influence on the physical world. So even his minions were in the physical world.
Okay, that sounds like it would have been interesting.
Yes, our whole a new character that Raziel possessed. And from the Defiance, it sounded like we were to, if the sixth game will be about Kain, and just will finish the story. But this guy just made me confused over what is his role in this thing.
Yeah, it would have made the timeline confusing, or well, more confusing probably, because well, there's a big ass spoiler at the end of Defiance that we are not going to talk about, which would have made another game with Raziel in control very
Confusing.
yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. He killed the Khan and his family. Then he possessed the Khan.
Okay, yeah. I think these games are supposed to take place basically right after one of another. This one especially, since well, it finished off literally where the last one starts off literally where the last one ended.
Yeah.
Though there might have been time between this one and Defiance, but I can't say. But yeah, it's always a bad idea when people want to make a game that doesn't fit really into the timelines.
Yeah.
Though there is some Blood Omen 2, which I am going to let's play still, not directly after this. That takes place in an alternate timeline from Soul Reaver 2, and Defiance. So that could have made sense if it was like that. Yeah, I will never find out since it got cancelled and all.
Yeah.
So where the hell am I supposed to go? I need the wind. I need the wind power, but I can't get it here. Or I think I need wind.
Wait, I got an idea. One of the wings, I'm gonna try and blow you up.
See, there was some place before that I could crouch jump up to.
Wait, blow you up. Oh wait, now I realize that would mean I will use explosives on you.
Yeah. Oh, where did you come from? Oh, you're the idiot that fell down.
Wait, is it cut on IO?
Yeah, I'm guessing with... We're going to need the air power at some point. This is light, so that is not of use to us now.
Okay, wait. There's a sword. Never mind.
Yeah, that's from one of the guys that got killed. And let's just deal with this jackass.
I was to suggest why not pick the sword and throw it at him from safe distance.
Okay. Let's have a bit of a look around, then swap over to the spectral realm to see what is different. So I thought for a moment that over there might have been climbable, but there's been a nope. Let's see. There's the dark power over there. That seems to be out of reach. And this doesn't change much. Okay, bit on my tongue a bit there.
Careful now. Oh right, I remember another thing from the Dead Sun. That sounded a bit concerning.
Oh.
Apparently, one of the main characters tried to save a wife, which I thought was dead. She's pregnant. Apparently, she's the first woman in 20 years to be able to be pregnant.
Okay.
Which makes me wonder, how much has the Elder Gods been scrolling with the circle? So it's so rare for people to be reborn.
Yeah, a long ass time, and this is where the hell we're supposed to go.
Oh, that was a well-hidden rascal.
Okay, get over here, you two. Yeah, as clunky as these games are nowadays, they are still worth playing for the story. Uh,
Provided that you have the patience.
yeah, or you watch someone else play it in your stead and get annoyed when they get lost. But for that, you can just skip around. Okay, hello. Oh, hello again. And I'm guessing this would be the a bird bath for vampires.
Thanks to the mental image.
Or it's a bloodbath for vampire birds.
Was enough imagining bats bathing in it, thank you.
Okay, this one's empty. That is going to zap us the moment we try to fly over there.
Wait, one was full of blood and one was empty.
Yeah. There's also this... Okay, that's just there for color, I'd say.
Yeah, light source that does not die out, I think.
So, let's head over this way then. See what's over here.
What kind of wine gums are these? I have some tropical wine gums and they were tasty, but there's one kind that tastes like beer.
Okay.
And that confuses me. What tropical fruit have that flavor?
Might be what they make rum out of. I know, or maybe agave? No, agave is made for tequila, which is a much stronger alcohol. Personally, I don't really like alcohol because maybe it's just a mutation or something, but when I try alcohol, I only taste alcohol and not the other ingredients or such.
Yeah, that kind of boring. You only taste alcohol. I can drink alcohol-free cider. I have had a true alcohol-free beer that was good. Probably I never found any other alcohol-free beer, but all other alcohol-free beer, as they call it, have some percentage of alcohol still. It's still not me.
I do try to try some alcohols from time to time, like those little one-serving bottles you can buy at the stores, at least over here.
Okay. Whoa.
And now the door's open. And...
You blew up the damn wall.
Oh, those guys respond. Let's see, I should probably go find the dark power, but that's up there. Sorry about that, just something annoying in the side of my face. Also, probably it is my face that's annoying my face.
Okay.
Free your soul, demon.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Yeah, the Reaver is more akin to a short sword or something.
With a long sword, but they still have a damn pull on.
Yeah, and some of them are carrying around freaking Buster swords, like in Final Fantasy. switch over. Let's see.
And non-respawn on the ice, right?
Now we can go blind the eye. Let's see. Not sure if I've talked about this before, but recently I've swapped over to a different brand of chocolate milk from a from the most well-known brand over here, Chocomel, which is just the Dutch word for chocolate milk, Chocomilk, without the K. So yeah, that is literally their brand name. Yeah, I think I said it already. Tony Chocoloni. Yeah, their chocolate milk isn't as strong in taste, if you ask me, but it is creamier. Though I doubt this would taste creamy.
Oh, I just realized I haven't had chocolate over year.
Okay.
Usually I have them on winter, and especially on my birthday, but this year I completely forgot. And this year we actually had snow.
Yeah, hot chocolate milk is always nice.
Yes,
Okay.
it's some kind of nice combination. You
Yeah.
sit in home, warm and cozy in a blanket, hot cocoa, snowstorm outside.
Okay, literally an ice floor. At least we're not dealing with ice physics.
Yeah, I usually hate ice physics, you know what I mean, in some games. But in some games they're just plain annoying.
It sort of depends on what sort of ice physics they're going with. If it's just... Oh.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry me, this towering labyrinth seemed impassable, while the object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself. I didn't know whether Janos Audrin was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. And I didn't care. Demon or angel, he alone held the key to my destiny.
Okay, basically him saying that, yeah, the mountain is hollowed out for this. And yeah, with it being designed for winged creatures, Raziel is going to have a bit of a time to get through this place. Let's see,
Yeah.
more chalices. Okay. That's a depiction of something. What was I saying?
About ice physics.
Yeah, if it's the one where you can only go in a straight line, then most people will absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
If it's that you're slipping around, then most people can stomach it more. And
Yeah, depending on how slippery it is.
yeah. Let's see.
Like if you bolt one direction just for the slightest move, it's just plain annoying.
Yeah. Can I even fly with... Okay, you know, Raziel can't grab his wings. So of course he can't fly like this. Then the question is, how do we get these across? So I do have one good idea, though it might also be an absolutely terrible idea.
Wait, you can toss it?
No, I can't throw it. Okay, can I at least put it down then? Oh, okay. crouch and X. That puts things down. Okay. And it just vanished. Okay, let's see. Air font. And what have we here?
A door. Well detailed door.
Yeah, and this is probably going to open up with blood or something. Or we can just get around. Not that it leads anywhere. Okay, these... I get the feeling those bridges are going to open if you have the right element equipped.
Oh, it was ice. I thought we were about to fall through clouds.
Let's see. You are marked with the light symbol. So... Okay. How do I get around here then?
Yeah, what are we...
I can't fly, I can't hover. And... I can't push these. Nope. What am I missing?
That's a good question. I'm drawing blank here.
Let's see, is there anything else around here downstairs? Or we're forgetting the first option that we should be taking whenever we can't seem to progress somewhere. Okay, what's different? Nothing here. And nothing here.
Well, something different. Also, flashes from one of the other areas.
Yeah, it might have been the slugs eating souls.
Was quite a light show if that is the case.
Okay, seems my stomach is unhappy with something tonight. And we are only a half an hour in, so that would be very early to call it because of trouble. Does something need to be done to lower these? Wait, there's chains. Oh, I think I see what might have to be done.
Yeah, I think about...
Yeah, gems.
Oh! Alright, I was wondering when you were supposed to shoot the chains, but... Okay. Shooting gems might be better.
Yeah. Okay, will it be timed or not?
Oh! Right.
Okay, are we going to do anything? Or not?
They seem to stay lit. So wait. You lit those up. Perhaps you should do it to the others on the dark side as well.
Which dark side? Those are the only two around, it seems. They are staying lit up, though.
Wait, hold on. And Oh wait, was another door. I thought you just opened a door.
Stop being picky with her. You need to stand, Raziel.
I do have to wonder, how old is that glove? Oh wait, Janus is still alive, so he's probably not that old then.
Let's see. Not that. Okay, what is the deal with this then? Both of them are lit up.
Doesn't they open a door to the bridge?
Nothing has changed.
Alright. Because there is something to shoot around here we not noticed yet.
Let's see. There's eyes around this place. And we can't get to this one until we've brought blood to that basin. I can't push it. I can't hit it. I can't throw anything at it. So it's that time again.
Would be too easy to shoot dark magic on the purple crystals. It is too easy.
And there's no dark fonts nearby. Yeah, even Raziel's confused. Solar Reaver 2 walkthrough. No, not IGN, that one's terrible. Swamp. Let's see. Dark Forge, Fire Forge. Air Forge, Swamp. There, Janus 28. Next. Come on. Said, come on. It's too far. Okay, sentry eye guarding something to avoid it. Left to activate. Pass around. Yeah, Dark Reef, Free Charger. Use the urn. Cutscene. Okay. Ramp will in front of you. Follow this. Head down the ramp. Use the light Reaver recharger. Next to the recharger, move to the right. Turn and face the gap. Right.
That couple there? There's nothing flashing over there, or was it?
says to head for the door.
The door. Alright.
Turn to face left. 2 pink icons. Oh. Okay.
But it makes sense. You were hitting the other one on the wrong angle.
Now you had to hit them from at the same time.
Oh.
Okay, now we can bring blood to the door, which might open it, hopefully. Oh, wait, and there's no need for that, because this guy has the key. Thank you.
And this key looks like a normal shield.
There we go, now we can bring blood to that bloody basin.
Blood for the blood god.
Souls for the Soul Reaver.
I cannot hear from that there. Damn it. Oh dear.
Yeah, this is the a drawback, but also the source of most of the fun of blind playthroughs, because whoever's playing it won't know all of exactly how to get things done. So there is a good chance of time just playing being wasted. But also, yeah, this the fun of discovering things.
Those are some bloody stairs.
Okay, now we can get the Air Reaver again, blow open the door like the big bad wolf, and what else? Yes, game, can you go add more then? Okay. Shortcut? Why would... Okay, I'm not really seeing the use for that one. Since we can't glide whilst carrying an urn of blood.
Oh, can we?
Back in your freaking bottle.
Oh dear. Whoa. Okay, you can blow up walls, they cannot blow up enemies. Eyes, my eyes.
Raziel will huff and puff and suck their souls.
Okay. That
Oh.
came out of it.
I'd forgotten about that one.
Oh, that's the hair it gave you.
It was judging me for my jokes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to need to line up a shot here again. Okay, that was bad, a bit of bad coloring. Need this light Reaver so we can open up the other door, other bridge. I'm pretty sure that we'll probably be able to get the blood out of this basin, or we might have to go all the way back to the start. Okay, that's open. That probably leads somehow to a dark font.
Or the vampire IKEA.
Okay, let's activate this thing down here. It is probably just meant as a shortcut for when you fall down.
Oh no.
That's...
I think I just realized why that gliding method looks so familiar to me.
Hmm?
Darkwing Duck.
Let's see.
I'm old.
Yeah, I like Darkwing Duck as well.
Yeah, I did as well as a kid.
Yeah, I have a VHS somewhere around here of the first episode in Dutch. I don't think I've ever fully watched the series.
Same.
But I heard that they are working on a reboot of it as well, next to the DuckTales reboot.
Yeah, I heard that as well, and I like his new design. His old design was alright, but his new design looks a little bit more badass. In a good way.
I can't really picture it at the moment. It has been a bit since I've watched the new DuckTales. I should probably catch up.
I have not seen any of it, but here
It's great. It's great, plain great.
Yeah, I heard it's the rare case they have improved on it considerably.
Yeah. We could maybe start watching that after Wonder After Over Yonder.
I am up for that.
It'll help me catch up on some things as well. And just for context for people watching, Drakir and I have been watching Wander Over Yonder basically every day now for a few episodes.
Yep, and it's hard not to smile as quick the intro starts.
Yeah, it is a plain great show. If you've not watched Wander Over Yonder, you should go give it a watch.
I recommend that as well. I do give heads up. There are moments that may put your brain in some sort of confused paralyzation. Try to register what the heck is going on.
Yeah, it is a bit of a wacky show, but it's not completely random like, say, Bobobo. And if you've not heard of that show before, then I'll call that a blessing, because that is probably the most random anime I've ever seen.
Bobo?
Yeah, Bobobo, not the rabbit Bobo. I'll send you some clips later.
Sure, didn't even know there's a rabbit called Bobo.
Yeah, there are lots of things called Bobo, I think. There's a Bobo the Clown.
That's point taken.
Yeah, it might be that Bobo the Rabbit is just a local thing. It's, yeah, for kids.
But is it Teletubby bad?
Couldn't say, because I've never really seen anything of it except for comic strips. And I'm not even sure where the hell we got those from.
Okay.
Maybe from my cousins and nieces or something. I have no idea. And I don't have the memory to keep track of it as well.
Yeah, you could just install some memory cards to your skull.
Yeah, we ain't cyberpunk yet. Okay, 2 doors. No eye.
they had that in Cyberpunk, but no, don't know they have that in. Let's see if I pronounce it right. Desponia.
I've heard of that series, franchise, I'm not really sure. But I don't recall ever seeing anything of it. But I know a Let's Player that I've been following for a while has been playing it. I think it's Tikoskia.
Oh, I thought you were to say Mr. Falcon there, but alright.
Might have been him as well. Falcon and another one whose name is escaping me, but is very similar. I've been watching those less and less. They've been basically losing my interest.
Alright. I was thinking as Man Badass Hero, but I realized they don't play those kind of games.
Yeah, I have been following him lately.
Oh?
He probably I probably come across a lot like him, with the not really monotone, but deadpan, not too much reactionary sounds or something.
Yeah, but he still sounds like a person, even when he speaks like that.
Yeah, he's no Microsoft Sam.
Who?
That's Windows's default text-to-speech voice.
I did not know that. If you said yeah, the old wizard thing or that the metal thing for paper thing, I would have gotten that, but
Clippy?
Clippy, that's the one.
Sam, I don't think Microsoft Sam ever got a visualization. So they stay just a voice.
Probably for the best.
Let's see.
Time to get dangerous. Yeah, I didn't name that one, but you get the joke.
Yeah, let's get dangerous.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I wanna sing, but it's my own fault. I actually cut out all music classes during my time growing up and replaced them with English and such.
Okay.
Suddenly, almost all my English skills were thrown out the window due to World of Warcraft. I tried to take my time and type properly, but no. Everyone have to scream and shout, type faster, type faster. And then I ended up ruining my English there. And I've been slowly working it up again.
Yeah, the internet is always full of idiots and assholes.
Yeah. But one would think I would be damn good at English for playing so many English games, but yeah. When you try to roleplay and try to take time to write proper and people shout at you for being slow, yeah, that stress runs up. I can do that. You have to relearn punctuations.
Okay.
Yeah, it got that bad.
Let's see. We opened up this door here. This was access to a pair of chalices. Personally, I think the first time that I started really learning English was from games, actually.
For me, it was probably movies.
Okay, so yeah, for a good chunk my English was self-taught, though not completely, of course. But yeah, there's only so many times that you can plant a pack of dynamite with a timer on it before you figure out that, hey, time means time.
Yeah. Though, apparently, according to my mother, I did not speak Swedish when I was very, very young. I spoke, apparently, English.
Okay.
Almost fluently, and then I stopped for some reason. Apparently, I was so kid that always had to watch TV, so I learned English from it. And I don't even remember it. Problem is, my twin had to translate for me because I spoke fast English.
Okay.
And I know I was hyperactive as a kid, but yeah, so hyperactive I need my twin as the translator. That's bad.
Okay, do we have an open path now?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, I'm still going to check where that other bridge leads to first.
Alright, here's another thing that I think you will be surprised to hear what I'm about to tell you. It's another dead son fact.
Okay.
Raziel is no longer naked.
Okay. Would you have put on a pair of sweatpants or something?
Actually, a fine suit and some nice leather pants. He looked like what you would expect Raziel would look like before he got burnt for a crisp from acid water.
Okay, maybe the game could have taken place before he turned well into what he is now.
I just guess that the form he took while he speaks with the main character in his mind.
Okay.
So no one else can see him. But apparently he was sort of himself and killed the others, but the only problem is you only saw Raziel's hands, and they were not these hands. They were five-fingered.
Okay, maybe no. Him as a Seraphant wouldn't make sense. Yeah, sounds more and more like they screwed things. They had nice ideas, but not ideas that could have actually fit in the into the lore, into the accurate lore.
Yeah. From what I could see, is what clearly after Defiance, since you could see the Elder Gods minions in the physical realm. And yeah, if you took 20 years for one child to be born again, that means he have eaten way too many souls. But yeah, they have some nice ideas, but also some ideas that just makes you a bit confused.
Yeah, it sounds like they just didn't have it fully worked out.
Yeah. They did have some interesting controls that looked very impressive, but yeah. I couldn't see if I can. You probably could should be able to find it on YouTube. Just right, Legacy of Kain, Dead Son.
Yeah. Sun as in UN or ON?
Son as in the damn burning thing in the sky.
Okay.
I wish to burn me alive. Does that?
That's something I think we've not really mentioned or not really forgotten either. But I think it was I think you at one point said something, or maybe the game said something about the vampires having been industrializing something to churn out a bunch of smoke into the sky to weaken the sun.
Yeah, I think I heard that somewhere from lore video. Maybe not industrialized, but I had in something that at least it put so much cloud in the sky that the sun was not as harmful to them anymore.
Yeah.
With the rare exception when the sun do peek through.
Maybe they heard about Team Trees and decided to be contrarian and just burn down every forest they could find.
Yeah, or something. And it wouldn't make sense considering they are surprisingly industrial in this game with how much metal they find.
Yeah.
Especially the damn thing you killed Duma with. That you don't make in a simple blacksmith shop.
Yeah. And I could have just grabbed a lot from that, but okay. Me being an idiot. Let's see. Okay, this is the last layer, so whatever we finish up here, Yeah, this is leading to the sanctuary where we are expecting to find Janus. So enough puzzle, back to plot.
Don't forget to put on your plot armor.
What armor? As you said, Raziel is naked. Though he does have his sweet ass cape as a scarf.
Janos Audrin? It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt. Raziel? My child, what have they done to you? I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why. For thousands of years I have waited, alone, here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade. And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them? I don't know. As our race dwindled, the humans prospered. I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague. Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires? The pillars choose their guardians from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a treacherous path. With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me. Or perhaps simply to lure me out. They have this foolish notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile. I have seen them mustering their forces in the village below. Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short. Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them. They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them. Vorador does. He has suffered much. He cannot forgive them. Should they be forgiven? They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation. So, it's all true then, what Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah. Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps. I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom. Raziel, your role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. dark powers are allied against you. But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The binding must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock.
And the Reaver is the key.
Yes.
The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing?
The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood.
As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up. Please, take it away from me.
I fear you have been followed. You must save yourself, Raziel.
Janos! No! My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning horror, I realized that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius' staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. It may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
Okay, where to even start with summarizing that for Drakir? The last part, at the least, was basically Janos teleporting us away into the fire shrine. And well, the door is locked with fire magic, so yeah, we better activate this quick before Janos is killed by the Sarafan. And yeah, Raziel also realized that once more he had been tricked by Mobius. Because, well, he led the Sarafan straight to Janos. And beyond that was that... Oh, hello.
That's a lot of blood.
And the torch is out. Okay. Before that, why guardianship of the pillars fell to humans is, well, guardians are chosen at birth, and vampires are not born anymore. Or at least not in the way that is completely natural.
Makes sense. God.
And before that, Janus explained that he was the last of the ancient vampires, kept alive only by him being the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver. To which Raziel asked why the other guardians weren't sustained by their guardianship, to which he couldn't answer. And yeah, there was basically a prophecy with Raziel and the Reaver. He also said that the pillars are a lock, to which the Reaver is the key. And when Raziel was presented with the Reaver, he was both at once repelled by it, but also compelled to touch it for some unknown reason. Though we two already know why, so that would be a spoiler for the rest. Now let's see. Actually, I should activate these first.
That flew far! Wait, hold on. If you can throw a torch that straight and far away...
Oh, this is light. I thought it was air. Where is light needed then? Oh, wait. Where's that crystal?
Wait, ain't that air?
No, it's the lines. Lines is light, single circle is dark, and the thorns is wind. And here we are going to get fire.
Yes. I recall the light Reaver look a bit more straight than that. Alright, now it looks straight.
Okay, pixelation on your end again?
No, I think just I saw it from just one angle that looked like a spiral only.
Nope. That's timed, so... Oh, it doesn't give us the time to grab it, okay.
Am I the only one concerned of the amount of blood in here? That is blood, right?
Hopefully. Or hopefully not.
Wait.
Yeah, it is vampire architecture, so it would make the most sense.
Yeah, I just realized. Would you be able to see under red blood?
Depends on the consistency, or if it is completely 100% all blood, then it would be no. So we can assume that it's been diluted at the very least.
Must be add still a lot of blood to keep it red in this consistency.
Yeah. Now we have this. With this we can activate the pillar points. This one isn't as much of a puzzle. It's more of a, yeah, doing things you've been doing before. And I don't know why Raziel keeps doing that.
And yours blood bound?
Okay, just one activates all, and we just need to carry a torch over there.
Yeah, I started to realize something here. Hillyan has turned me into a punner.
Okay, how so?
I just realized I make more puns ever since you've been tormenting me with so many puns over the years. Especially during the times when we play multiplayer games.
Yeah. We've been playing games like Ark and Valheim on the sides.
And before that, Pig's Ark.
Yeah.
And of course, Guild Wars 2.
Yep. Okay. And that was easy enough. Probably the shortest of all of these.
What the heck are those heads?
Gargoyles of some sort. They... Yeah, what specifically they must be depicting, I can't really say.
Yeah, I don't know that the Soul Reaver is meant to be depicted in a dragon's tongue.
Okay.
Which makes you wonder, are the dragons in Moskov?
Probably. Or probably were at some point. Now what is... Do I just need to get over there? But why would they have these brought up then?
Well, is a dragon, if you look at the tongues.
It looks a bit serpentine.
Just like the sword, sort of. It doesn't have a split thing at the tip.
Let's see, what is in these rounds? Okay, this one's... okay, that's a fire font. Also, something I just forgot earlier. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I didn't see it in the cutscene myself, but Raziel said that the Seraphim had brought along Mobius's anti-vampire staff. So, yeah, Janus is in a lot of trouble in there. No, I don't just activate it. That brings the blood back down.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, what are those new for? Oh, do we need to carry a torch all the way up here now?
And as to notice something disturbing.
Hmm?
I think those heads both pour out the blood, but they also suck it up again.
No, there's grates in the floor that open up.
Alright, well, I noticed that when you started the fountains, that's when they start to pour red blood again as it drained at the same time. This doesn't make sense. If you want to drain something, don't turn on the crane. See? I would not be surprised if these things do suck up the blood. Let's be honest, we have seen stone heads eating stones.
Yeah.
So, stone heads sucking blood and spitting blood out? You know, that's for sketch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing we need to fly over from this to the other side. Probably should have picked... No, we wouldn't have been able to use the Reaver, I think, then. Okay. And now it's just a question of how long can my finger hold down the jump button on the mouse. Oh. The torch went out when we passed under the blood there. Okay, so we need to go along the middle.
So that's why they keep pouring, even when they drain it. They are obstacles.
Yeah, this last shrine is basically not really a puzzle as an obstacle course. Okay.
No, don't throw.
No, it just vanishes. Okay, let's try and get ourselves as much time as possible then.
I think you missed.
Come on, Vasil, do your best impression of an Olympic runner.
Damn it. Must make an Olympic joke.
Can we make this? Yes, we need to go a bit wide. And I think we've got it.
It looks so ridiculous.
Okay, but where do we stick this?
No idea, but
Do we...
don't you damn throw it.
Yeah. Do we have to activate this? No.
What?
Or... The torch interacted with the blood flow. So I'm guessing that was supposed to be an obstacle.
And if we go to Spirit Realm, we just gonna drop the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, walkthrough time.
Let's see. Warning, please read Fire Forge in the glitches and precautions section.
Wait, what?
All the way back up. Controls, characters. Glitches and precautions. That's Fire Forge. This one comes straight from the email. Interesting glitch. Look closer, you can see the icons materialize once you... not really a breaking glitch, but still a glitch that might have occurred, but then basically the air currents activating too early or something. Finding page. Pardon again for that.
Yeah, no worries. But
There
you
we
can rip it out and let it stay in and lower you up.
Walk to the center of the fire forge. Use the light torch to ignite it. So it is here. Oh. I was standing in the right spot. Always nice, when a game is being picky about your positioning.
Okay.
What are those supposed to mean?
Oh, you don't? You don't know this?
I know what this one is supposed to mean, but not the previous ones. Or could those have been symbols from the pillars?
Oh, these damn light flashes! They hurt!
See? Time for Raziel to get a light from the temple.
Oh,
He has no problem smoking since he's already dead.
I think he do. Considering he doesn't have low jaw.
I plunged the Reaver into that furnace
like him.
and forged the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued,
Holy crap.
I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
Okay, am I the only one who's looking at this and thinking Casey Jones from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Nope. I'm thinking Rusty unless that's you.
Yeah, but with the eyes and the face, featureless face, yeah, it looks more like a mask to me.
Casey Jones, the one with the hockey club.
Also, What of this, besides the glowing eyes, is the most noticeable?
Yeah.
Yeah, the freaking hair.
Yeah, that's first I reacted to the eyes, then I started to notice the hair, and the rib case, and the spine, waist, and the hips.
Yeah, that's also something that John has said, that he didn't expect to see Raziel in his current state. So yeah, he was probably expecting a much more angelic appearance. But enough talk about him, let's go save his ass.
Yeah.
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
And they took the Reaver.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Raziel. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was, and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
And yeah, those were the Sarafan lieutenants, among whom the former Raziel.
Wait.
Yep, the one with the arm blades. I really should just silence the alarms that I've put on these for the times that I stream. Yeah, the one with the arm blades was Raziel. Hello.
I thought it was someone else, but alright.
What are you doing here?
Expecting you, little Razia.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future. For here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected,
were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty for my disobedience.
These aren't supposed to be here, or more not supposed to be now. The other god has sent his assassins.
Yeah, that damn thing has hit everywhere.
Yeah, more every wind. And part of me wants to see what happens when I overload the Reaver like that. The other part remembers that the save station is still quite a bit back.
Yeah.
Not too far, but we'd have to go sit through that again. Oh.
Do you really think you can save Noskov? Let me enlighten you, poor
What are they saying?
Do you really think you can save Noskoth? Okay, once more. Hello, and goodbye. Now to feast on some From Software works, because these are demon souls. And yes, I know I made that pun before, but now in a different way.
Punish. I don't know how to punish you actually.
Oh, hello. You came in late. No, I don't want a demon hug.
Just realized. The Elder God is powerful enough to make demons his pets.
Yeah, but well, he made Raziel.
Usually demons only want to serve demons, only if there's something else then... Yeah, I guess the Hillyan Elder God is something else. If even demons don't want to mess with them and gladly obeys them, or well, maybe they don't gladly do it, but yeah.
Okay, where's the transfer point here?
In snow, perhaps?
I'm guessing it's up here. We've never gone over here. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let's see, an hour and a half. Oh, hello. And goodbye. I said goodbye, not stab me by. Okay, our health bar is quite big now like this, and even then we still got killed by the demons.
Yeah, it better not stop spinning. Looks, this should look like a hypnosis wheel.
More demons.
There he is, the savior of Nosgoth.
Okay, just more taunting. But yeah, as we'd established. Hello, you want to save as well? Thank you for waiting in line then. Yeah, we're at an hour and a half, and because of the save point system with this game, we did come to the decision to stop if we pass an hour and a half and find a save station, because, well, the third episode of this was. It wasn't an hour long like I'd complained, but it was still half an hour longer than it should have gone. From 2 hours, and now it is freaking spinning. Not not in place, but the contents are spinning.
Oh god, I see it now.
Okay, just hold your eye over the screen. Hold your hand over the screen, not your eye over it, because then you're going to throw up. Uh, but yeah. Anyone who has been watching now later on YouTube, thank you, and thank you specifically, Drakir.
You're most welcome.
And next time we will continue with Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. But until then, it might be the last episode of of this then, and then we'll go to uh, Brutal Legend and the Saboteur. On Brutal Legend, I have to comment one thing because, well, obviously it contains copyrighted songs, so it got copyright struck from like every corner of the freaking world. Amongst one that blocked it globally, I was able to not contest it, but I was able to get the video visible again by having that stream partially muted. So next time when we get to Brutal Legend, I'm going to lower the music volume because that has worked with dodging the copyright claims in Soul Reaver 1. So maybe that'll work in Brutal Legend as well. If it doesn't work, then parts of the stream will probably be muted when it goes onto YouTube. But that's probably the best that we can do. Oh, and something on the Saboteur. The When you launch that game, there's supposed to be an options menu to pop up, which is why the game looked pretty bad when we streamed it. So yeah, I figured out how to get that working in higher uh, on higher graphical settings and a bigger resolution. So the next time when we get to that, it will look a lot better. No, and now I remember. It's Saturday, so tomorrow will be another Brutal Legend stream. So then Tuesday will probably be the last stream of this, and then Thursday will be will be Saboteur, and then I'll start alternating between Brutal Legend and Saboteur. On Sunday I'll find something new to play. Okay, and that's about it. Anyone who has stuck through that ramble, I'll have to thank you again. You as well, Drakir, because I can ramble at times.
I'm guilty of that myself, so I can understand you.
So yeah, probably won't be have I probably won't have a light to give better lighting than my freaking phone up there, which looks like it could fall any second again. Uh, Actually hasn't drained the battery all that much.
Surprising.
Maybe I can turn down the intensity of that. But yeah, I kind of forgotten my spiel now after ending this. Thank anyone who has been. Thank you, and until next time. But until then, until then.
See ya, folks.